Hey, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be fully explaining pretty much everything I know about split portals. You see, I made a video like this in the past, but in all honesty, I had no real idea how they worked, or how powerful they can be. So this aims to be a much updated version of that. Without rambling, let's get into it. So, if you're not aware, a split portal is just when you have a portal tile that isn't just, your normal portal. See, this is slightly directional, and it's why people don't really know how to use them, or how to make them even. So you can obviously just obtain the portal tile block in older versions, but you can't anymore. So you have to do some funky stuff with palettes now. And these are the directions it works in, and I've just added a little directional thing in the corner. So you can see that if I just quickly face north, that way is north, and that's all the directions it works in. And do note, if you touch these portal tiles in any way, you place a block next to them, you remove a block next to them, the block next to them changes state in any way, the portal tile will be removed. And just in case you're not familiar with how to do all of this, you just have a normal portal and powdered snow in the dispenser, and you simply just power it. It's literally that easy. Now I have to remove this just for demonstration reasons. Now what's interesting about a portal tile is it doesn't link to this portal, so obviously if you go through this portal you end up in this portal in the nether. Well, not portal tiles. You see, if I go through here, you'll see that I spawn next to it, at the exact same distance away from this portal as I was in the overworld. Which, this has some pretty cool implications. It's worth noting, by the way, the Y coordinate of this portal does not matter, as when it is looking at this portal, it will always pick whatever is closest to it and the bottommost portal tile. So in this case, it's this one, hence why you spawn at that Y coordinate relative to the portal in the nether. Now, what really gets me, and this is what's interesting, is how this Y coordinate actually can matter. You'll see, if I come up here, I have some other portal tiles, and this sort of ghost portal. Now what this is going to be referencing is if I just quickly pop through here, you'll see I still spawn at this portal. However, if I also light this portal and go through here, you'll see that this bottom one will still link to this portal, in the case of down here. However, when I come through here again, and we pick the one up here, you'll see something quite interesting. You spawn at the top one. This is because, in relation to the overworld, this portal is closer than that portal. And what gets really interesting is when you rotate things. So if I was to rotate the portal in the opposite dimension, like this, and just quickly pop through here a second, and go all the way up here, because this is the ones that will link to that portal, you'll notice that the spawn location also gets moved, so it is in relation to the direction of this portal here. Now, with all that being said, let's show why this is extremely powerful. So, in relation to how far away these portals can be, in order to link, they have to be 128 blocks away, or less. So that's 128 blocks away from the obsidian on that portal to this portal tile. Do note, the portal in the nether does have to be loaded for this to work. In this case, if you're using the player, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be loaded at all. But if you're sending, for example, another entity through here that you want to actually be like ticking and process, you need the other portal to be loaded, otherwise it will spawn at minus 40, and then when the player loads the area, it will get TP'd to where it should be. That's the one thing I don't understand why that happens, but either way. So, if I now go through this portal, you'll see that I spawn 128 blocks away from the one over there. This gets very powerful because that range is massive, and you'll see exactly how big in a second, but I have one more thing I need to explain. If I go over to those portals again, you may be wondering what happens if you go over that 128 block range. Well, something changes. If I go through here, you'll see that I now spawn on the corner of this portal. Again, note that it's this portal tile, as this is closer. And if you look, this is the northwest corner. So that is the corner that you spawn on when you go through here. It is this portal tile, and you spawn on the northwest corner of that block. This also has a range of 1024 blocks. So if I quickly TP myself, I have a portal here that is 1024 blocks away. So if I go through here, you'll see, well, okay, I linked to this one because this one was closer in that case. 1 second. I forgot that portal was lit from testing purposes. But if I go through here, you'll see I spawn again on the northwest corner of this block. If you go outside of that range, you will just make a new portal where it should be. So I'll also show that. So if I quickly set another portal here, just like that, and we go through here, you'll see that it makes a new portal. So that range is outside and it won't link. Now then, I want to show you a really cool use case for all of this. So if I quickly just light this portal, and I light the portal over here, as we were, and we come all the way back here. Because of the way the portal ranges work, we can do something really cool. So I call this the anchor portal because, I mean, everything revolves around it. If we remove this, remember our spawn location was here. In relation to that portal, it's within 128 blocks away. So, if I teleport myself to the overworld really quickly, this portal tile will now link to this portal. Now then, if we go through here, you can see that we're at the 1020. I forgot to light that portal, you made a new one. Either way, you can see we're here. Now, propose that as you're in the overworld, this portal gets removed. So you are now on this side, and you have the split portal. That one's irrelevant. Well, because that anchor portal is also removed and we lit the third one, when we go through here, oh my word, would you look at that, you've travelled another 120 blocks in the nether. If we then go through this portal, you can see that we spawn at 2048, well not really because this portal had a linking range. And my void world actually runs out at that range, which is quite funny. But yes, so you can travel insane distances with just popping through, oh my word, by popping through a few portals. With all of that being said, that is just about everything I know about split portals. The rotation, again, matters in the nether, and I guess the other thing I should mention actually is, if I go through here, so when I was mentioning that the Y coordinate doesn't matter, you kind of saw it. So the other portals aren't lit, so it doesn't matter if, you know, how high up you go at all. The you'll always be TP'd to that bottom corner tile. And again, just because why not, I'll show you that this portal will TP me the same distance away from that one in the nether, and there we go. I am going to have a thing on my Discord specifically for this, this portal tile tag. I'll probably make it in the help channel or something, I don't know. But either way, this world download will be available. The void is a bit goofy. I will in future use better void worlds, but you know, I just wanted to have no nether in the way, and there's no nether in the way, so yes, the background may be, but we can forget about that. Either way, that is all I have for you today. If you have any questions at all, I'd be happy to answer them, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.